Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So, what are we working on today? Well, we are working on Project Tactics as usual, and yesterday we actually wrapped up, I would say, the majority of the game, but now we're into the non-fun part, which is trying to figure out how to make things not awful. Now, if you see here on my handy-dandy notepad document off to the right here, I have been plugging numbers, and, well, I've reached an impasse. But a fairly significant one at that. Overall, let's see my squeaky ass chair for a bit as I lean back. Overall, the game has currently been designed around the concept of the squad. And all characters are a part of a larger squad in which they have their troops in, etc., etc. Now, this has presented a few issues going forward. The most notable of which is that the current squad mechanics don't work. Kind of blatantly, they just don't function properly. And what I mean by that is that overall, if you take it exactly as it states, by technicality, and you can be yawning because it's a little bit later than I usually stream. But overall, its problem is that the numbers get way too high, way too early, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna roll 1d10 plus 17 for my one tactics roll. And if you actually looked at some of the tactics rolls, you realize a lot of them are fairly low. And they're 17, and the highest one's 20, which again, if you already have a 16 in there, you have a 40% chance of success base. This isn't even adding anything, any other bonuses or anything like that. Now you may be wondering, but hey, Notepad Anon, isn't it supposed to kind of work up to that point? Like, yes and no. Yes, in the idea that you kind of have to work up and each individual member of your squad kind of should feel rewarded for it. On the other hand, the relative lack of input, you could say, from the characters, because again, they're going to be able to make whatever squad they want. There comes down to a few optimal choices rather than anything else. So, how do I plan on mitigating this? Well, there came down to three scenarios. Well, technically 2.5, but I'll get to that in later. The first scenario is effectively stick with the idea of the squad. Kind of fundamentally speaking, stick with the idea of the squad. And if we look here on my, see here on my mouse, I'm making aggressive motions over here, is effectively each member of your squad contributes a little bit to the captain's full-on stats. So in the middle of combat, you have your various soldiers, and they're all participating and giving you, the captain, more stats to work with, more abilities to work with, and generally speaking, that's kind of their draw. You want better and better troops so you can get better and better stats in the battlefield. So you kind of the tier 1, this is like your basic one. In the middle of combat, Joffrey has, if he has 2/2/2 and everything, 2 attunement, 4 dex, 5 strength, 2 tack, and 2 toughness. But if he ranks up to tier 2 with 3 infantry and 2 scouts, his stats are improving, and he's able to move faster, hit a little harder, but he's still not great at tactics or his attunement. But if we go down one more, we notice that he starts splitting his... These are tier 3 troops. These are pretty solid troops. And we notice he has pick wild walkers, naturalists, sergeant-at-arms, various pikemen, and they're all developing their own troops, their own stats, to gradually improve his quote-unquote stats during when he's in the squad. And of course, as he levels up, he's going to be able to improve his own attributes. This is method 1. Kind of the idea that the squad is built around the captain. and in the heat of battle. And it's kind of succeeded at a few of the preliminary goals that I would like. Pretty much the idea that the captain isn't this immortal super god who's just head and shoulders above everyone. But, you know, he needs to have troopers at his back to really make a difference in those larger scale situations. Now, what will this mean for Ogre? Oh, fuck, I'm sorry. Now, the hard part with this is twofold. One, what do you do with mixed troops in this situation? What do I mean by mixed troops? Let's say in my squad I have 2 cavalrymen, 2 infantry, and an archer. Alright. I didn't really help anyone. That's a lot of, and you know, I'm not having that damage, and you know, what if the cavalry's moving faster than I am? So you kind of run into some interesting scenarios there. So that's one option. The other option is break it down a little bit further into individual squads. And what do I mean by individual squads is effectively the captain is one man, or one person, I should say. We can't have gender terms anywhere because that's bad. So, generally speaking, the second method is breaking down every effectively member of your forces into individual squads. Now, what does this mean overall? What it means is you can adopt the Final Fantasy, the Fire Emblem tactic system a little bit more actively. Which, let's say, I'll take Joffrey of Lindholm here as an example. So, Joffrey here, his starting forces, people loyal to him, will be 3 batches of militia, 2 batches of poachers. Each one of them is going to be moving at their own intervals. And, you know, and Joffrey may attach himself to one and augment their stats with his own. This method obviously increases the scale of battles pretty significantly. This is no longer 20 guys. This is, if we assume every unit effectively is 25 individuals, that's already looking at, you know, Lindholm's forces. You're looking at about 125 men. Now, multiply that by 4, and suddenly you have 500 men in the field, and the scope of the battle changes pretty significantly. Now, the captains themselves would have to be these independent units. However, the bonus to this system in place, one, is that there's a lot more, dare I say, strategic elements to it, and you're pretty much effectively going to be playing a war game at some points, except with the captains kind of getting in down and dirty and ready to fight. Which is cool, and that's good, and I like that. The only issue with it, again, is that it changes the nature of the game. It kind of shifts it away from the, you know, Final Fantasy tactics Ogre, let us cling together, and doesn't really mesh very well. I was trying, but the first system, this is the if, but the first system, however, goes more with the Tactics Ogre March of the Black Queen, like system that I was working with. A little bit more squad focused, a lot more personal, you could say. And personal things are good. We like it when you know, these are my band of dudes and I care for them all. Each one of these guys is someone I care about. Which kind of brings me to the point 5. Which was attempting to hybridize something like that, but that's, again, it's kind of it works and kind of doesn't. Because the other option is go full on March of the Black Queen. What do I mean by that? March of the Black Queen for Tactics Ogre is actually very fascinating, because it deals almost exclusively with no input from the player outside of where to send squads. It's mostly dealt with how your squad is composed and how they fight well, and depending on where they are sit in the ranks, and yada yada yada. The idea of micromanaging that is an important fact, and each squad is its own very unique entity that you want to take care of. And depending on where they stand on the alignment and how they operate and who they are, really really show who they are. So I actually debated quite a bit on how I wanted to do this, and I was up very late last night, desperately smashing two rocks together, trying to find the exact methodology of how Tactics Ogre March of the Black Queen functioned. Now, there are two options. It's either go down the full... There's the March of the Black Queen method, which is individual squads fight for glory and armor. The let us cling together method. Characters control individual units as part of a greater squad. So my idea here is, we'll just use the tier 4 here. If you're playing Joffrey of Lindholm, you control Joffrey, you control 1 Way Watcher, 1 Moon Druid, 2 Great Shields, and a champion, while using their full stats block for each. Because again, combat isn't actually too complex. Overall, the game itself works as a PC game, works as a game it works as video, but it may be a little bit, dare I say, thick for something that isn't it. The final method is the Kingdom Under Fire method, which is characters control individual squads of troopers in a greater force. So this would be like having 25 Way Watchers, 25 Moon Druids, 50 Great Shields, and 25 champions that you, Joffrey, must control and augment their stats with your own if you want to join them, or you just want to give them general orders. That method. All of them are valid in their own way, and I think that's the hardest part of this entire thing, is that they all technically work. All of them. But none of them also work at the same time. Which sounds really dumb to say, but effectively, each of them would require the game to kind of shift in a very distinct direction. Because as of right now, there's currently the answer of everything kind of works, and everyone does aggressive jazz hands every now and again as we try to figure out how the fuck this game works. And that's kind of its own issue. Which Tactics Ogre game do you try to emulate? Do you try to emulate Dynasty Warriors? Do you try to emulate Final Fantasy Tactics? Do you try to just say fuck it and go down the full Kenshi route? Like, what do you do in this kind of situation? And that's where I kind of am with Project Tactics, because there isn't really a good answer. So I've been kind of looking at it. I've been actually looking at this all day, on and off, in between my friends demanding that I play Heroes of the Storm with them, and we lose miserably, but we try at least. It's the how do I get what I want and everything. I actually flirted with the idea of actually just writing like 3 different games, each with those kind of core ideas. But I'm like, that's a little bit overkill, says the man who's written a shit ton of games. But oh god, I always wish there would just be a solid answer. If I had to choose, if I absolutely had to, put a gun to my head and choose, I would go down the March of the Black Queen method. You, as a captain, control an individual squad, and they all augment you. They all augment the captain character. The 3 things that are to be difficult with this one are, 1, I have to effectively try to how do I word this? The monsters and enemies and things like that, I would have to not necessarily make everything that way. I would have to effectively dictate what captains look like, and what a orc captain would look like, what a necromancer would look like, what a bandit chief as a captain would look like, and kind of go from there, which could be easy, could be harder, kind of difficult to wrap your mind around that. The second thing I would do is I would have to tone down the squad numbers. Now, because looking at this, we can kind of see this is just Joffrey with, 2 and everything. That means he's going to have 5 guys in a squad. Now, the secret huge success I've discovered over time is that if you just jack up your tactics score, and if you do something like that, suddenly you can have a crap ton more people in your squad. And if we go down this method of improving the captain in general, suddenly you have a moment where the captain is useless in micro combat, but really good in macro combat because all his troops are there, and it always kind of comes into a question of how to do that properly, because there isn't really a good answer to it. So, what I'll do going forward, this has been literally 20 minutes of me talking about how going forward, I'm going to go under the assumption that I am making Tactics Ogre March of the Black Queen for the SNES, or technically the PS1. I played the SNES version, into a tabletop game. That's my kind of fundamental thing. And that works, but that also means I'm going to have to cut some things, and some of the more strategic elements, you could say, of the game has to get stripped down in favor of being able to accommodate that. You, as a player, won't be able to say, haha, I'm going to flank with my cavalry around and destroy their archer line. Haha, I am so intelligent and wise. That's not really an answer with this method. And that sucks. So, let's see. So I officially have 160 views. Woo! 160 views. That's divisible by 5 again. One second, I have to make fun of British people. Always make fun of your local Brit. So, we want to make March of the Black Queen, effectively. Let's... So, we're going to have to rewrite this section almost entirely. So, Darren can push upon them in the comment, dive at the side, call the captain. These people are called the captain squad. A squad is composed of it who add a bonus to the captain's attribute during macro combat. Also made me wondering, why do you keep using macro versus micro? Because that's the best way to word it. Let's see. Maximum squad size. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to say 0 to 4 is going to give you 5. 5 to 7 is going to give you 6. 8 to 9 will give you 7. And then flat 10 will give you 8. I'm going to kind of jack the numbers down a little bit. I'm hoping this will prevent people from like rampantly abusing the system. 10, 8. How high can they go? Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. We want to center a row above. -2 to negative 2 to -1. Actually 0 to 4. 5 to 7. 8 to 9. 10. 4. And insert row above. -4 to -3. 3. Insert row above. -5. 2. Effectively, if you have a low, like really low tactic score, most likely the idea is that you aren't really, well, to put it kindly, you're not supposed to be tactical, because you're probably a giant fuck-off dragon that's going to eat someone. Pretty simple, really. You know, kind of a big brain, move there when you realize that being a dragon doesn't really mean you need people to care about you. That means you're a dragon and can eat someone because they made fun of your scales, and nobody likes you. So let's see. Captain's allowed to draft their initial squad. 2 of them can be fun. 2 of them. Actually, that's kind of a weird way of wording that. Allowed to draft their initial squad using the starting units available to them. 2 of these, actually it's starting troopers available to them. 2 of these kinds of troopers are from their class, while all classes are able to select the peon trooper. Select the peon trooper. Work. Whoa. Ooh, there goes my back. There we go. We'll call it something. We'll drag the people in by making a Tactics Ogre reference, which I learned the entire thing is just a reference to Queen. I actually listened to that entire section of Queen's album. I'm just like, oh, this seems appropriate. Let me see. Maximum squad. Health and morale. There are no immortals except in tall tales and old wives' stories. People die in pain, are often more than willing to do everything in their power to prevent themselves from suffering. This is where health comes into play. Each captain has health equal to 10 times 5 times their toughness score. So technically, if you really want to, like, a captain can be beef as fuck. Like, you could be really beefy as a captain. Joffrey technically has 8 with 2. He's got 30 health. Actually, he's got, if I can actually do, his 20 health. That's pretty high considering the militia has 8. Or even less, possibly. Actually, since we're just going off tiers, they wouldn't have that, would they? Alright, I guess I gotta rewrite this section. Each captain, so each captain has a health pool equal to 10 plus toughness times 5. Well, each trooper has health equal. What I can do is tier. So it's going to be your tier. So tier 1, like tier 0 units get fucking no health, but a tier 1 unit's going to get 1 bit of health. Bit more health. So tier 0, 0 health. Equal to their tier. Class. And equipment bonuses. This is how we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. This is how we kill 2 birds with 1 stone, boys. Don't worry. Let's see. So when a captain or trooper, I'll put it like that. Okay. The trooper has what? 1d6. Has their tier to recover in rounds before they bleed to death. And falls in combat, will attempt to evacuate the captain right away, fleeing the battle to protect him. If they are unable to escape, they will fight to protect their captain, but can no longer receive maneuvers or orders. The captain has toughness times 2 round to evacuate, or they will bleed out. Alternatively, if their squad is destroyed, they will perish or be captured. If the squad never falls below half their original health, they suffer a morale check, forcing a very hard tactics roll to reorganize. If they fail, the squad does not act for the turn. The next turn they make it. Okay. Alright, okay, that works. Because it's kind of hard to actually get the full, dare I say, authenticness. Authenticness? Is that even a word? Okay, let's do combat. Let's see, versus defender's deck, toughness, range shot, attacker's decks versus. This is micro combat. I think micro combat works. It could probably be a little bit more fleshed out, but I don't think it really needs to be. And now we get to this part. Orders: attack, melee, assault. The squad becomes engaged with another squad and rolls an opposed strength versus strength check. The victor of the assault deals 1d10 plus strength plus weapons minus loser's toughness. And the loser deals 1d10 plus weapons minus victor's toughness in damage and retaliation. New winner of the assault. Yeah, let's make that. Let's see. How do I want to word this? How do I want to word this? I'm going to reduce you a little bit. Put you right there. When two squads come into the same unit, actually, I'm not going to put you there. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. The battlefield anew. Series of units equal to their dex plus 1. Why dex plus 1? Because you need to have that plus 1 in case someone has 0 dex. Because if you don't have that, someone's going to accidentally make something, or they're going to lose their one character who has their 1 dex, and they won't be able to move anywhere. And suddenly it's like, oh, well, crap, I can't move. Section is called the units. Each unit is train time and man. Unique features that make it hold for benefit. A squad is considered engaged with an opponent if they occupy the same unit space. Okay. So if I go here, I'll open up my handy dandy spreadsheet yet again. The wonderful world of spreadsheets. Isn't spreadsheets so much fun, guys? Because I know I love spreadsheets. I'm dying on the inside. Please help. And let's go back up to town. I want to determine health. Each trooper has equal to their tier, class, and equipment bonus. So, roughly speaking, your tier is going to be a basic one. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. Technically, I have to put it in Tier 0 as well. So, we'll say 0 bonus health for Tier 0. And then 5, 10, 15, 20. Sounds pretty reasonable. I may want to bump damage up if that's the case. Yeah, you know, screw it, I might do that. So that's our basic calculation, is that our, depending on your tier, you get your initial set of health. And now, next, if we go here, let's say all knight units, knight units usually gain 5 to 10. Yeah, 5 to plus 5 to 10 bonus health. Warlord units plus 5 to bonus health. Okay, now let's just break it down. We're gonna have to do this the brute force method, aren't we? Yep, we're gonna brute force this. Awesome. Okay. So, militia, they get a plus 5 health. Infantry. Then under militia, we have infantry. They get plus 5 health. Skirmisher cavalry. Skirmisher cav get plus 0. Then from infantry, the sergeant at arms gets another plus 5. And then from the warden, you get another plus 5. And the great shields get a plus 5 health as well. So overall, if you go strictly down the infantry route, you're looking at bonus 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 5, 10, you're at 20 additional health. So you are, a warden is roughly going to have about 40 HP. Great shields are going to have about 40 HP. Sergeant at arms are going to have, if we go tier 3 plus 5, about 20 HP. Actually, they're going to have about 30 HP. Infantry is going to have tier 1 plus 5, about 10. Oh, shit. So, tier 1 plus 5. So, militia have 10 health. Then you would have 20 health. And you would have 30, you would have 40 health. Okay. Okay, that works. That works, I think. Yeah. So this is how the calculation worked there. But for skirmisher cav, you get plus 0. So you would only have 15 health. So skirmisher cav only has 15 HP because they get the 5 for being, by virtue of being part of the militia. Knight errants get a plus 5 HP. Get a plus 5, I mean. So they're currently at 25 HP. From there, a cataphract gets plus 5. So they would be at, if I can actually type this out correctly, 35 HP. And a Praetorian would get a plus. Fuggle records. Ah, son of a bitch. Okay. This is what we do here. We look at numbers and question why we're not wanting to kill ourselves. Because numbers are fun, everyone. Numbers are super duper uber fun and we love them. I don't know. If you just base it entirely off the tier. Yeah, I mean, if we say, for example, let's just do, for example, foot units get a +5 HP. Cavalry get a +5 HP. Now let's give foot a little bit more health. Foot gets +10 HP. Cavalry gets +5 HP. Ah, scheiße. See, they don't talk about this. They never talk about this part of, you know, Tactics Ogre, Merch the Black Queen. They don't tell you how much HP is calculated. This HP is calculated via toughness scores, but if we're just converting everything strictly back to that, that doesn't work. Because we're converting everything to that, to another method, not necessarily this method. Unless we keep that. We keep what's currently there, but the idea is that they only contribute a certain number to the squad in general. That makes no goddamn sense, and I know it. Based entirely off tier and armor? That doesn't seem right either. Why won't the numbers come to me? Numbers, please. Please do numbers. I ask for so little. Because once I get the initial numbers in place, are in place, everything else clicks. And that's really the only thing that's kind of throwing me for a loop right now, is that the numbers aren't clicking. I don't know how to make them click, though. Because if we keep this, how do you justify them, you know... What are my answers? Because the normal calculation is toughness times 3 plus 5. So your basic militia has 8 HP. But your infantry, seeing how they have a toughness of 3, it'd be 9, they would have 14 HP for infantry. 15, 20 HP for your sergeant at arms. Then your warden has 3 times 7 is 21 plus 5, so 26 HP for your wardens. And then your great shields would be 3 times 18 plus 5. Which is 30 HP. So that's always an option. Not a good option, but definitely an option. And what I mean by that is literally just convert everything to what it should be, health-wise. And then use that. Okay, what does that mean? Let's just say, what does that mean for us as of this time? So, here's our basic, militia, tier 1 foot, that, and let's take a look up. Let's see what our new one would be. So, our militia give us as a tier 1 foot soldier. They give us +1 strength while in the squad. They can use light armor, basic hand weapons, and shields. If anything, I can put it like right here, so it'd be 8 HP. 8 hit points. Health points. And just make it like that. And just convert the numbers over raw. I might do that. Honestly, I think that might be the best option. I always hate it when you have situations like this. Then there's no solid answer, and there's no... It's one of those moments where there's... Oh, God. There's no good answer. Because every answer is slightly different. So theoretically, let's say we're like, let's go to Warlord, okay? Okay. And let's convert our Gladiator over. So our Gladiator. So, toughness times 3, 6 plus 5, 11 HP. So, and that means the Berserker has 11 HP as well. The Aspirant has 14 HP. And then Sacred Warriors have 14 HP as well. Bear Killers have 5. We just do it entirely internally, that might be the best. So that would be 15, that would be 20 HP. Still not nearly as strong as something like a Warden or a Great Shield, but that's not their point. Their point isn't to do that. Their point is to be a, brick shithouse and be a lot of damage, but that's the Warlord's gimmick. So who has the highest toughness in the Warlord's arsenal? So You know what? Let's just convert everything using that formula. We're going to convert everything over using this formula. So, roughly speaking, 0 toughness has 5 HP. 1 toughness has 8 HP. 2 toughness has 11 HP. It's pretty much just increasing by 3 every time. Wait. 12. Yeah, so 5. Toughness 23 HP, 7 toughness 26 HP, 8 toughness 29 HP, 9 toughness is 32 HP, 10 toughness is 35 HP. Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty simple calculation. Everyone has a pretty gradual increase, like, because like the toughest of the mages, and these are tier 4 mages. The absolute toughest is the Crusader at 6, but down the actually this is a bishop tree, and what's the Magus's 2 2 2 3. A lot of these are even toughness 0, even all the way down here. Like, hell, you go Scholar, Illusionary, Arcanist, and then down Sorcerer, Mage. Like, none of these guys have any toughness. Well, the highest toughness down here is 4? No, it's 3. The Mage Knight only has 14 HP. That's really balanced. Like, yeah, you'd be encouraged to use the Knights units a lot more for their HP, but you wouldn't be able to have all the spells and abilities at your disposal, so you want to have the Knights in there as the front row, soaking the damage up, so you can then have the people in the back row do the big spells. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And because you, the captain, have to distribute damage, you're obviously going to give damage more priority to your higher health people first before you start dealing with your lower level people, because why would you give the damage to your red mage who only has about 16 HP, only has like 12 HP, when you can 11 HP, an absurdly low amount of HP, when you can instead give it to your sergeant at arms who has almost double his HP. You can give it to your crusader who has a lot of HP. You can give it to all these other people who have a lot of HP. Trading out the ability to, yeah, you're trading out your health for that, for utility, for more things. You're making sure you can't take as big of a hit, but you're also making sure that every time you do deal a hit, you're doing more. What's the knave's highest? 6, it looks like, for brutes. Yeah, 6 for brutes, but a lot of theirs are just toughness 2 to 3. But this is like their dedicated, route for being a lot stronger. Hell, that's the brute's entire focus is to make sure that he's the target of focus attacks. Ranger toughness 4 seems to be the highest over here, and toughness 4 is the highest over here. So they only have a maximum of 17 HP each. Like, goddamn, these people are fucking fragile now. But that's good. We like it when people are fragile, because that means you're more actively encouraged to keep them alive, and you have to make the sound decision to do so. So for the monsters, toughness 8's 29 HP for an orc boss, but again, he would have to go down as he would have to be a captain effectively. So this would be your captain stats. And everything else would be, kind of facilitating him instead. So, okay. Alright. Yeah. Well, each has health linked to their class and equipment bonuses. So what I can do is that if we go all the way down to... Where are you? Trooper equipment. Because you want to... What's the benefit of having cavalry? Why would I have cavalry in my squad? Cavalry obviously do more damage against archers. Yeah. So your idea of having cavalry is the idea that you're going to be able to deal with casters and archers a lot easier, and rangers a lot easier. That's pretty much cavalry acts as your bonus damage against them, as well as being able to move faster along the actual battlefield, because again, some of your guys are mounted, you're able to hitch rides with them, and you're moving quicker because of it. So the number of cavalry is the extra bonus units you can move. So instead of that +1, you have +2, +3, +4, +5, so you're dashing across the entire battlefield in a couple minutes, in a turn or two, and you'll be able to do hit and run attacks, being able to maneuver your way around the battlefield, and you're being useful while still maintaining your cohesion as a squad. My God, I've done it. All according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan. Give me a second, I have to shit post. I have to shitpost, sorry. It's imperative that I shitpost in the GDG Discord. If I don't shitpost there, I mean, what am I doing with my life? Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Alright, so, roughly speaking, what we're going to have to do going forward is each one, I'm just going to use the Militia Tier 1 just as our example, and we're going to paste you right there. So we're going to, it's going to be the name of Trooper, tier type, no, tiered X type, squad bonus, HP, and then we're going to say equipment available. Go down here and yeah. So effectively speaking, we have our this entire section just needs to get fixed. I don't quite know what I want to do with it, but that's bleh. Bleh. Even there, so effectively going to have equipment available, special maneuver / tactic available. infant squad. So I don't forget, we're going to actually do copy of troops, paste it right. This is roughly what every troop is going to look like. So +1 strength, STR, and 8 HP. 8, I said 8, no, goddamn, 8 HP. Light basic hand weapons. Not. So that's what everyone's going to look like, roughly. So our infantry is going to look like +1 STR / +1 toughness. It's going to, and they have 11 HP. So I just post this right over here. Yeah, I just need to. After that, it's just going to be having to be me converting from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. I just have to convert it. Like, all I have to do is really convert this section right up here, and like this one won't take me too long to actually do. It'll take me what, a couple, at most an hour or two. Yeah, it'll take me a few hours, but nothing I can't really kind of hammer out by myself. But alright, I think this works. I think this works pretty well. So under that assumption, we scroll down to armor. Damage resistance, I'm going to take you out. And we're actually going to call it bonus health. No armor, and we're going to do +3, +6, +9, +12. And you still got a pretty meaty. And you still have pretty meaty penalties. We'll double it up each time. So -6. There we go, -8. Actually, bonus health. What would be the penalty? No. Damage resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll actually give shields a bonus. Bonus health. 0. Bucklers give +2. Light shields give +3. +2. +3. +4. +5. Damage resistance. That now, I'm going to have to make the cost. That's going to be its own other nightmares thing, but everything's coming up. Notepad for once, mostly with this fucking game. Now watch something that'll actually break in like 5 minutes. But overall, with bonus health, I need to actually, with this section now, I need to actually, I need to balance in the economy out. I think that's one thing I need to do. And So overall, I don't quite know how I want to handle this, the equipment section, but so I'm going to keep it as is for right now. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the stream here. And what I'm going to do is start the gradual process of just fixifying everything. And that's literally all it's going to be. It's going to be me just converting everything over, making it how I want to, getting it in the book, and making it work. Because if it works, that's good. Might have to fix up some of these, but if things go according to plan, and I say if, probably tomorrow may be our actual last session with Project Tactics. For now, at least. Again, we got about 44 pages. When I add all the classes and stuff like that, it'll probably be something around the world of 50, 55. But overall, I think this has been a relatively successful time. I think we really hammered out what it. Again, sometimes just a rubber duck explanation is all you need. Just talking to yourself and just talking to someone about how things look overall and making sure that everything clicks right. Once everything clicks, I don't think there's anything else you can really do, because that's working as intended, and it feels good, very good. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. As usual, these will be uploaded to YouTube. I actually got the last batch of Hearts of Darkness stuff formatted and ready. I can actually send that out to the YouTube sphere. I'll probably get yelled at by individuals who believe YouTube that bad political things don't happen in the world, but they do. So thank you all very much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.